do a piece called the Teelin Bay Waltz. This was a piece I wrote when I was in Ireland. I went there to do some research on the fiddle playing of John Doherty and ended up being in Teelin, which is on the very northwestern coast of Ireland in County Donegal. There's not a lot in Teelin. I can tell you that right now. There's a bay called Teelin Bay, and there's a fishing wharf that goes off into the bay. And I think I remember seeing a schoolhouse, but it was like one of those one-room kind of schoolhouse. And there was a pub. It's got to be a pub. But I spent one of the more amazing evenings in my life in this pub. I got down to Teelin in the afternoon, and it was absolutely empty. There were like 2 people in the bar in the pub. And long about 7 o'clock, people started showing up because they heard musicians were coming to town. And we started playing tunes, and in a place that maybe packed like sardines, it could hold maybe 70 people. And there were at least, by 8 o'clock, 200 in there. And that was an amazing thing to behold unto itself, because I was in the corner with all these musicians, and but all the rest of the people were just jam-packed. And the bar was at one end, and the bathrooms were at the opposite end. And to watch how these people maneuvered when they were that tight it was beautiful. It truly was. It was like a modern dance, ballet kind of thing, and no one dropped a drop. And they were all very polite, and everyone was part of the deal there. It wasn't like you guys and us guys. It's like these people came out to celebrate themselves. And no one, just because there were some fiddlers that came to town, and and there were a few accordion players and a few flute players, and but at some point during a break, someone said, "Rosie, stand up and sing us a song." And Rosie stood up. She was like about 95 years old, about 4'1.5", and the place got absolutely quiet, and she sang this unaccompanied ballad in Gaelic that went on for about 10 minutes, and I was noticing it's like the crowd was just stone silent, and tears were streaming down their faces. And I started crying. I had no idea what she was singing about, but it was this energy coming out of this little tiny old body. And she got done, and the crowd exploded, and she fell down back on the stool where she was sitting, and they wanted her to sing another one, but she had spent what she... And so they called over, "Sean, stand up and sing us a song." Sean was Rosie's older brother. Sean stood up, and he came into town dressed. He had on a suit and a vest and a tie. He was going to pick up chicks, I think. And he started singing, he sang in English, and he sang this long ballad about coming to America to fight in the Civil War. And I made a mental note. Self, remember to ask him which regiment he fought in the Confederacy. But he got done, and the place exploded, and there were kids. People brought their kids who were learning how to play, and everyone, if you had an instrument, you were playing. And it just moved me so much, because I remembered when I was growing up in Northeast Minneapolis that's what life was like for me, growing up in the Ukrainian community, because the people that come from the old world, by and large, particularly if they're in a country, still entertain themselves and music is a big part of that. And I grew up in a household where there were just jam sessions every weekend, and lots of great food featuring sour cream and pork fat and starch, and lots of great music. And as the old timers started passing away, my dad, one of them, he was a mandolin player. That tradition is gone now, and so it just really touched me to be part of that in Ireland. Although I wonder sometimes, driving through the Irish countryside, seeing these old thatched cottages and the smell of peat bog in the air and the satellite dish on top of the thatched roof, whether that is going to change over there eventually too. Hope not. But anyway, I got real melancholy about it, and out came this piece, which I called the Teelin Bay Waltz. Am I still in tune with you guys? That's close enough.